Hello and good evening, everyone. Uh, I won't say this evening is good because of the tragic news that we got about Shutanchi committing suicide. We never know that a person who taught in the real life to not to commit suicide will himself commit a suicide. Depression, mental health, which we still avoid that topic. We avoid even believing ourselves that we might be having some mental issues or our mental health may not be good. So, very big loss to the film industry, and of course, no one should die like this. A little while a silence and a prayer for his soul to rest at peace, and then we can start the session. Uh, Today, my Ahmedabad Book Club and Sharma Foundation stage is sparkling with all the prominent, glowing people with me. Mr. Gaurav Sharma, Mrs. Nandita Bose, Harpreet sir, Tuhin sir, and Coral ma'am. Welcome you all to the new episode and the launch of Gaurav Sharma's fifth book. It all happened at school. Welcome you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and congratulations, Gaurav. It's a big
Thank
moment
you,
for
sir.
you amidst
Congratulations,
the
Gaurav.
lockdown.
Thank you.
First of all, let me brief my viewers about every one of you. Mr. Gaurav Sharma, numbers love him and he loves numbers. He adores truth and facts. Belonging to an Air Force family background, he's a mathematics teacher by profession and writer by passion. He has written books which are widely acclaimed, like Love at the Air Force, Rat Scars, They Never Heal, Dawn at Dusk, and Unbudgeted Innocence, which is an story for children. He says that his prose belongs to mirth and his poetry belongs to grief. Welcome, sir. Today, as we launch the cover of your fifth book, It All Happened at School. Welcome.
Honored to be here. Thank you.
Second guest we have is Mr. Tuhin Sinha. He is India's well-known author of eight novels, and before being, he is an author first, then a screenwriter before foraying into the politics in 2006. Apart from writing novels, he has contributed to the print media of TOI and DNA. He has scripted popular TV shows like Ye Rishta Kya Kehlata Hai, Afsar Bitiya, Pyar Ki Kashti Mein, and won Rafa Award for the Best Film in 2005. Welcome here. We're honored to have
Thank
you
you.
here, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a
Mrs.
pleasure to be here.
Mrs. Coral Das Gupta, she's an author, academician, columnist, painter, and professional speaker. She teaches marketing and that's the management studies, communication to journalism course students. And she's advisory member to the Sensory Board of Film Certification and chairperson at ALL, that is All Ladies League. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Mrs. Nandita Bose. She is a well known author of the book Tread Softly, The Perfume of Promise, If Walls Could Weep, Shadows and Souls, and the poetry collection Dude. Her writing is always focused on human relationships and hidden emotions that of the lives of the people. Honored to have you, ma'am, on the stage. Nandita, ma'am, am I audible? Okay, I guess she has some problem. She'll join us soon. Mr. Harpreet Kakkar from Petal Publishers and Distribution. Welcome, sir. He's a financial analyst and experienced director, skilled in strategic planning, editing, public speaking, and blogging. And he's publishing the book of Mr. Gaurav Sharma, which we are going to discuss today. Welcome, all of you, and welcome, my viewers. Today, we are going to discuss on a serious topic, school and what all crime that happened in the school during these days. So, first of all, my question to Gaurav sir, you have written your first book, Air Force, Love at the Air Force, which shouted against rank discrimination in the armed force. Then Rape Scars, which talks about rape laws, which generally support the uh, not the victims but the rapist more. And now, a serious question on functioning of private schools. So, how and why do you choose such topics?
There should be some mad people in the world.
Sorry.
Uh, I said there should be some mad people in the world. Uh, Deciding to write these books was not a sudden decision. Actually, these books chosen me. These were the topics that were haranguing me, that they were troubling me for long, and uh,
Okay.
then they forced me to write these books.
But
Because
aren't you? Yes, please carry on. I'm sorry.
I, I feel means that a writer is a person who has lot to say, but doesn't have ears uh, to say anything. So means he has only one medium to say his things, and that is writing.
That is right. Correct. So, aren't you afraid of the controversies with all these topics?
Means, if a writer has to manipulate with his thoughts, means, I don't think he is doing justice to his writing.
Correct. Great answer, sir. Definitely, if we writers start manipulating words, where will I mean? There is no justice that we are doing to what our passion or our hobby is. Coral ma'am, I have a question for you. You are a chairperson to ALL. Can you please tell us something about it and what does it do, or does it do something about the girl child, their development and security?
ALL is All Ladies League, and I am not the chairperson, but I used to be the chairperson for 1 year. The beautiful thing that they do is every year they change their chairpersons. So every
Uh,
woman in the within the circulation get to chair one or the other of their initiatives and contribute
Correct.
in whatever capacity possible. So that helps every woman in the circuit to express their leadership skills, and that is not based on any hierarchy, that is not based on any other achievement. It is just that
Or
whatever be your age or hierarchy in your office or achievements, irrespective of that, they allow every woman to go out there, display her skills, showcase her ideas, and put something substantial on the table.
that's great. And ma'am, like there is a saying that in a child's future shaping of a child's future, apart from parents, a teacher plays the major role. A teacher should be such who tries and knows the talent of a child and encourages the security and safety as well as that talent to flourish. But these days we hardly find such teachers. What is your views on it?
Before I answer this, let me congratulate Gaurav and Harpreet heartily. I
Thank
have
you.
read the synopsis of the novel that is going to be released, and I found it very, very interesting, intriguing. Coming to your question, I don't think that there is a dearth of teachers who want to do good because I have a child who is 8 years old and he is completely in love with his teachers. He gets very scared if I tell him that I'll complain about this to your teacher because he wants his teachers to know that he is the best child in the school.
Yes,
And that kind of love can happen only if the teacher has it in her to inspire the child. Uh,
definitely.
Even otherwise, in different worlds, there are teachers who are making a lot of difference. What we have to understand is that the times have changed. Today, it's not just the teacher, but also the teacher-parent relationship, the child-parent relationship, child-teacher relationship. Everything has changed. So
Everything is true.
when I was a child, if the teacher would scold me or cane me even, my mother wouldn't run to the school to complain about it or raise a social issue about it. They
Correct.
would very blindfolded, they would trust the teachers that they are there to do their job and whatever they do is right. We grew
Right.
up learning that whatever the teacher does is right.
Is
Today,
right.
we
And
question.
they,
And since we
yeah,
question, our children also question. So, whenever something like that happens with them, we immediately feel very, very, jittered that how can someone scold my child to the effect that he is coming back and complaining and crying? And if we question the
definitely.
teachers, the child will also question the teachers.
Yes, of course. Yeah, very true. Even I have a child who goes to school, like she's 6 years old. But definitely, if I question teacher, why did you scold her? She's also going to question, and she's not going to believe what teacher teaches. Very nice. Harpreet
Excuse
sir.
me, Kosha means can you help Nandita madam to enter, please?
Uh,
Nandita ma'am, can you help her,
uh, yes, my technical team, my
please,
partner, Mr. Shaktikan sir, will do that.
please.
Yeah. Harpreet sir, you are in the publishing industry. Uh, how do you choose the topics which are to be published, and how did you choose Mr. Gaurav's book or the topic to be published?
Kosha, see, if we talk about in general, there are some good books, that need to be published that needs to be put in front of people to read. And I don't think there's anything specific in my mind before I choose any of the books I'm publishing. So anything which can be, put in front of others, other people, readers, I guess it's the worth, the effort of the author and the publisher. But yes, in case of Gaurav Sharma, Gaurav sir, he's always very choosy about the topics he's going to write. And
True.
I have known him. I guess it's been 5 to 7 years. We first came in contact, and whenever I read him, it's always something new. It's never it's never a particular genre he's going to write about it, and it's all the time it's something new. And I don't have to put much of the effort while choosing his books. Already knew that it will be something new and it will be something interesting. So whenever I have a new from Roy Sharma, I guess he has my answer that it should be I will publish his book.
Great. And which part of the book did touch you when you were reading? Like for the first time you were reading something, there was any specific part that touched you?
See, to be honest, to be very honest, I'm not able to read complete books, or the complete manuscript, when we
Yes.
decide to publish this thing. But yes, I have gone to a couple of 2 or 3 chapters. Okay, and rest of the thing is handled by the editors. So, but this whole concept of the education system, whenever it's not easy to touch this particular thing, this education system of our country, and an author is putting some effort or research. It's very remarkable thing to do.
Remarkable. Agree. Tuhin sir, I have a question for you. Recently we hear untoward incidences that happen at school and other safe places for a child. Share your views that where we human race shall end to and why people fear to stand up for justice or when
First of all,
something
let
is
me
wrong.
congratulate Gaurav Sharma ji for
Thank you.
writing this, what
Thank you,
seems
sir.
to be a very fascinating book, and Harpreet for publishing it. And what does kosha mean? Kosha is a very interesting name before I come to the answer.
Thank you, sir. Usha means wealth.
Wealth.
Good.
So I think
Yeah.
in these times of depression, wealth is what one needs. So I'm glad you have it in your name. So
Thank you.
when you talk about untoward incidents in school, they could be anything. I mean, they could be about a
Anything
child consuming stuff which
they
he should not
shouldn't
be
be.
consuming. That could be misbehaving with the teacher or vice versa. So I think
Anything.
it's a very generic, it's a very general questions, and it's a very general question. And in the same way that you sometimes fall sick while everybody falls sick, there will always be some aberrations or some things which are not correct in a school. That would also be in
Good.
an office. That would also be so. If you like make it more specific, then obviously I would be able to answer. But I think it's a part and parcel of life. We just as parents, you need to keep a tab on what's happening with your child's development, whether teachers are attentive towards him, they are participative. I think a regular monitoring of the situation is what can help the
Bring.
situation.
But sir,
Um,
so you know that like there is a trend right now that parents are working and child is physically and mentally a little bit away from the parents. So does that contribute to the increase in such incidences?
See, unfortunately, working parents is something you cannot help at this point of time. What I think the entire definition of parenting has evolved and changed significantly. So instead of spending, maybe as much time as you can, given the demands of the day, if you spend 2 hours a day, but that is quality time, it's all about that. More than
Yes,
quantity, I think it's the quality of engagement which is more important. Are you encouraging your child to talk about what's happening in school? How rich is
correct,
the conversation? How participative is the conversation? And also,
correct,
I would like to add over here, it is equally important for the child to encourage the child to know about your life. Because sometimes
right,
when you ask him too many questions, he or she might find it intrusive. But to be a
correct,
true pal to the child, or to be a true friend, it is very important to encourage a two-way communication where you equally encourage him to ask, questions which you may not be very comfortable with about
right,
your life, about your profession. So I think
correct,
that's
correct,
something which we encourage, and that's one way we try to keep the communication robust with the child. Because if the habit of sharing conversations or sharing what's happening in his life is inculcated in the child from a young age, then the results are normally good. He doesn't get, or he or she doesn't get into this habit of hiding things from the parents.
right. Right. So the atmosphere and kind of bonding you have, the way you spend whatever time you have, that contributes a lot to the child's future. There is a viewer, Mr. Deepak Parmar. He is saying that people have time to forward unwanted WhatsApp messages, but no time to spare with your loved one, especially with the kids.
Very
So
unfortunate.
yeah, unfortunately we many people have, but that parents should realize and learn, that is one thing.
Mhm.
Gaurav sir, I read the blurb of this book, School, God, Guru and Convent. It is an amalgamation of two religion. So I fail to understand what is the role of religion in the school or education, and why you have involved these two religion.
Even I fail to understand the role of religion in education. Means unfortunately, in our country, every religion have their own schools. There are Sikh schools, there are Hindu schools, there are Muslim schools, there are Christian schools. Even there are Jain and Buddhist school in India. And what is the need of that? Means I wanted to predict a school that the basis of that school is religion, and means you will agree that means. Uh, right from the childhood we teach our students through these schools the importance of religion and not the importance of humanity. So that was a point of showing such a school which is amalgam of two religions, that is one is Sikhism and that another is Christianity. So
Right.
that's why the name of the school is God and Guru Convent.
Okay.
That was the
Uh,
concept. Yeah.
yeah, you're very true. We make them fear. अगर ये नहीं किया तो God punish करेगा, which is right from the childhood. We make our children fear of God through religion. We don't teach them humanity. We don't teach them compassion. Yeah, Harpreet sir, today's generation, young teenage boys, girls, I mean by today's generation, depression level, anxiety level, anger level is very high. What do you think the reason behind it may be, or how can we improve uh, that thing?
See, Kosha, as Kuhun sir said, parents needs to be in touch with the kids at their wards regularly. It starts from the family. Whenever we make our kids or our parents, anyone in our family that
Hmm.
comfortable that they can discuss anything with us. Even if I
Right.
talk about myself, I have to be
Right.
that comfortable with my family that I can discuss anything. I guess
Right.
depression will end there. It will not, come, it will not be forward, move forward. If I am discussing things with my family, or let's say my some good friends of mine, it's
Right.
all about discussing things. It's all about sharing things. Whenever we
Correct.
are that comfortable with the people around us, if we choose the people, wisely, who are to be around us, these things will not, we will not see these things in our society. Our
So
parents, as a
sometimes,
parent, we should be as a parent, I need to be careful, the people who are around my kids or who are around me, in fact, so we have to choose people wisely. And apart from that, we have to make an environment at place at our home, where there's no formality or there's no, hesitation in discussing things.
hmm. So, like, we sometimes even fail to understand when our loved ones go unusually silent. We have to see that this was the behavior, this was the nature of a person, and suddenly this person has gone opposite to the nature. So that also tells us about the depression or maybe whatever things is bothering to them. Right, Gaurav
Uh,
sir. Uh,
sorry
Can
to
I
interrupt.
make a request? Can we release the book cover,
yes,
because I
that's
will
what
need
I
to
was
leave.
say that
I will
now we
definitely.
need to release the cover of the book. It all happened in the school. Uh, my technical team, my partner Sasikant sir, can you please release the cover of the book? Just a moment. Yeah,
Wonderful, fabulous.
congratulations, congratulations, Gaurav sir, once
Thank
again.
you.
And
Thank
this
you.
book
Congratulations,
was
Congratulations,
Gaurav.
Gaurav.
Yes,
It's a
thank you.
beautiful cover.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cover, and it all happened at school. My viewers, please read the book, grab a copy once it is out. And Gaurav sir, please tell us something about the book, more about the book.
See, this book is not about only the crime which takes place in the school, but everything wrong in the private schools. I have a serious problem with private schools. Means I know a lot about the schools in Delhi and NCR, and in here means you can start a private school like a grocery shop. If you have a land and a few lakh rupees, and you go to people for advice that what business you should start, and they, 10 means 9 out of 10 people will suggest you to start a school. It is such a lucrative business, and the quality of education they serve in these
The
schools is
word
pathetic.
business itself,
So
the word business itself suggests that education and business word doesn't go together.
yeah, so that was a very idea behind the school, and it is about all the wrongs which takes place in private schools. In,
So yeah, you
So
are
I,
yeah,
saying that.
I will I will have to take your leave. So once again, congratulations, Gaurav. I think
thank you, sir,
it's a very
and
promising subject, and
thank you for this. Thank you
my
for
pleasure.
joining us, sir.
My pleasure.
Honored.
Wish you the very best. Congratulations, Harpreet, and good luck, Kosha. Hope you
Thank you,
generate
thank
more
you,
wealth and accumulate more wealth. So,
thank
so thank you,
thank you
everybody.
for
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
having
you,
me.
Indra.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, so sir, you mean that now even schools, which used to be such a safe place, are no more safe place for children?
Of course, means when the people who are not uh, have a background of education, if they are not educated, will start a school. These untoward incidents will only take place in the schools.
Yeah, true. And ma'am, I have one another question. As you say that you are for that all ladies league, I have a question that still in our society, girl child is not welcome. The quest of the boy child is still there. What are your views on?
It is very deep rooted, Kosha. It's not something that will go in one generation as much as you want to try. Because One of the very important reasons is that women themselves, many of them, are against, or they don't understand the feminism aspect well.
Correct.
They
That's the big.
they spoil it or they misuse it. There are families where the mother-in-law expects that the daughter-in-law would come as a slave or as a house help in the absence of a
Right.
house help to the
True.
guy. I mean, I have my personal experiences where I had actually told someone that if the house help hasn't come, this girl doesn't become your house help. Of course, it was
Exactly.
not taken well, but such moments happened. The other thing is that even in our country, even an important movement like Me Too goes wrong. Why? Because a few women start encashing the takeaways of Me Too. In that
True.
case, it's very difficult. Third
So women,
reason, and
right.
that is probably the most fundamental reason that
Right.
I mean, any feminism is actually what we are fighting with whom? Our father, our brother, our husband, our friends, right? All of these are
Right.
very, very close to us. We love them. At some
Correct.
point of time, we tend to give up because we love them. And
Right.
that is what makes it even more complicated because if it was an outsider, we would have
Right.
probably fought the battle far more diligently. But at some point of time, we give up because we cannot fight with our near and dear
Own.
ones
Right.
endlessly. And in this context, I'll give you a very simple example. When I was in college, I remember there was this couple, and one of the evenings, they both had something to eat. The guy finishes his and starts having from the girl. Now, of course, I pointed out that as the person I am, I pointed out that you've had yours. Why are you taking from her? So he
Exactly.
was totally under the impression that if he is taking from her plate, she is supposed to be happy.
Yeah.
She is
And it's,
supposed to be happy. That is the level of entitlement. And
I guess, somewhere that upbringing of the boy child is such in our society still. How we upbring them. We have, uplifted our girl child. We have given her powers, but we fail to raise the bar for our boy child.
that is because what they see, Kosha. Because if my son finds me cooking and serving, and what happens when you are cooking, whoever is cooking today, if Harpreet cooks or if Gaurav cooks, it's not different for anybody. If they cook,
Correct.
they'll tend that whatever they are cooking is loved by everybody. Everybody has their share. They are well fed. They are full. And then if they are cooking, they'll make sure that everybody is full, and after that they feed. That is natural human tendency. I am doing it for others. Let everybody be. So if only the woman is doing that, the child grows up seeing that the woman is supposed to be the last person to have food because she is not the one who needs food. Her food is
Yeah.
a luxury. It is a very
Exactly.
subconscious message that passes, you know.
Exactly.
So with my child, often that I do is at times when he loves something, he wants more, and I encourage him that see whether there is more available. If there is
Right.
more available, understand that everybody should have and everybody needs their share. So
Right.
there
Right.
are times when he has wanted more and I have refused to give him. I said that there is nothing left for
No.
me. I have to have that. That is mine. After that, as a
Right.
mother, I cannot consume something that my son wanted to have. I'm a mother end of the day. So I probably don't have it. I keep it for later. I keep it, I give it to him in the evening. But at
Right.
that point of time, when he wanted, I didn't
Yeah.
pour the bowl on him and say that, okay, I'm not important, you have it because you are everything.
Correct.
The girls, I'm a single child. I grew up like any other boy. But then I saw my mother cooking, serving, providing, making more sacrifices. So obviously, it is in my somewhere in my subconscious in my head that I am the one who is supposed to make more sacrifices. So that's
Right.
a very vicious circle. It cannot go in a generation.
It cannot go in. Harpreet sir, one more question for you. Tell us any such bad incident or bad memory which you remember from your school life.
See, Memories from school, there are many in fact. But I would say bad memories, there were very few. But yes, the one I can recall, which can impact us, kids' mind also. That's bullying a child. It's very often we hear these things, but yes, it's very deep inside. When someone faces such a thing, bullying, when three or four other students are after a single other student, it's and especially when that one child cannot do anything about it. So in fact, I have faced such a thing in my life also when I was not able to share that thing with anyone. I remember an incident, when I was, cornered by some group of students, and I was feeling alone. It was not that big, but as a child, you don't understand the impact it
Yes,
will have upon you, and you don't
yes,
intend to tell anyone.
correct.
So it will connect to my earlier point also that you need to be comfortable with your family, so that I
Right,
can, I could have shared, at that time I could have shared that thing with my family. I don't want them to do anything about that. But yes, sharing is so that they can, they can give me some wide idea about the whole thing, so that I can feel better about it. That there's nothing
right,
bad about it. It happens.
right.
But as a child, we don't understand such a thing. It's not easy for me to digest at that time. Of course, at that time, it was not easy for me to digest. But yes, somehow I did. And maybe another child, maybe some other student or some other kid who is more weak or who is more, depressed kind of thing, he or she may not digest that thing. So the
Correct.
consequences can be worse.
Hmm. True. So, shall you say that if we have such environment wherein the child can share everything, that would be easy for them to grow
It
up?
all starts, it all starts at home. Most of the time they're at
Right,
home, even as a parent also, from the very beginning. It's not in a day. It will not happen something, in a day. It needs to be from the very beginning, from the very beginning, from that, my kids just entered school in March. Okay. So though,
okay,
we're not working right now, but still, that's a time where I need to be, more, I have to put more efforts in upbringing them. Then
right,
it takes time.
correct.
You have to spend some
So,
time with them. You have to talk to them. You have to, give them
right,
time to speak themselves out. It's all, such things.
right. Gaurav sir, tell us like why do you have so much problem with the private school that you mentioned in your book?
See, means private is the day when the privatization of school was started. That was a doomsday for education system in India. A country with so much poverty and with so much population, you should not have private schools. They loot people without giving quality education, and means 90% of schools means they exploit teachers. Teachers are overburdened. They can't do justice with their teaching. And secondly means that teaching training program in India, that is pathetic. Uh, that is more about mechanical teaching and not
Right,
about psychological teaching. So
correct.
means I think is there should not be any private schools, and
Like
that's the
foreign,
objective
yeah,
of this book. Means it has highlighted all the problems that can take place in a private school.
right, great. Yeah, foreign countries they don't have major for many countries like
Yeah.
Canada. They have every children goes to the same school and have same level of education. So again, I congratulate and I would like to tell my viewers that please read to know the reality of the schools, reality of the child, reality of the crimes that take place in the school. Anything else, Harpreet sir, Coral ma'am, and Gaurav sir, you would like to share?
See,
Coral ma'am?
I would add one thing, apart from,
Yeah,
just talking about the book, we have Gaurav sir, told us some good things and, some very hard steps he would like to see in the education system, like not needing the private schools. But yes, apart from that, it's all good. until and unless we can feed our kids in a good way, feeding not in terms of food or something, but mentally, physically. If we can feed them good, and if we can think good about the others, in our society, especially
Right.
who cannot feed their kids in a good way, we have to stand up for them also. So until
Right.
and we are doing that, I guess it's all good. We have to think about the others also. It's all good. Till then.
Private schools means create a divide means in society which has already so much disparity. Private schools add to it. They are
Right.
Very true.
doing
Very
nothing
true.
good. Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
only food, sir. It's not only foods. I guess every sector in our industry, every sector in our country is dividing people in some way or the other. It's everything, everything.
Sir, but in this, I think government has a big role to play for this privatization of the school and the common education level which child should get of the country.
Government has played its part by allowing private schools to flourish. And government schools cannot prosper until and unless the private schools are there.
Perfect. Perfect. Coral ma'am, you would like to add something?
I would just like to add that I have read Gaurav's book before, and I know that they are very engaging, they are very interesting. I know that he has a very lavish writing style, it engrosses. And I do believe that this book will do extremely well, and I am looking forward to read it. But Gaurav, please don't send me a copy. I will buy it. And whoever is watching it, please buy a copy. Please don't tell Gaurav to send a author signed
Exactly.
complimentary copy. This is something that all authors suffer.
Get it?
So Gaurav maybe could be a little more shy in expressing this. I will be a little more shameless. So please don't ask him to send you complimentary copy. Buy it.
Exactly, buy
Thank
it.
you so
Yes,
much.
yes, perfectly. Every writer should do this. People
You know,
should
that,
buy their
that's
copies.
one
Uh,
statement every author needs to say after
Exactly.
writing a book.
No, Harpreet, there is one thing that I had done once for my first book, and it worked. There were a lot of that was my first book, so everybody believed that I owe them a copy. So I just simply say that you sell 10 and you will get one. So all everybody who were asking for copies vanished. Good for me.
Sir, Gaurav sir, we have question from a viewer, Mr. Rajiv. Uh, yes, that do share the synopsis of the story till we get the book in hand.
Sure. Sure. Means here. Means do you want me to say means share here?
Yes,
I can read the
yes,
blurb. Yes. I can read the
please.
blurb.
Yes, please.
So, God and Guru Convent is a rather reputed school run jointly by the managing committees of church and a gurudwara because the heads of the means I'm facing little problem with the light because the heads of uh, both parties have vested interests. Thanks to nepotism, most of the students and are on concession, and the faculty is incompetent. An amalgam of two religions, the school is where sexual peccadillos and minor criminality are common. Sobhagya Kaushik, an enthusiastic young teacher with an ethical approach towards his profession, joins the school. However, his consummate passion for teaching does not go down well with his colleagues, while his uncompromising attitude paints him as a difficult employee in the books of the management. So Bhagye manages to win the favor of students with his innovative ideas, but his conflicts with the management keep growing. Pankhudi, a nursery teacher and the colleague for whom Sobhagya has some feeling, is raped and murdered by the libertine Sam Tito, who is the son of vice chairman of the school. Sobhagya's voice for justice is squashed, and then a girl of class 1, Pia Simon, is raped in the school premises. This time, Sobhagya has vital leads. Now, does Saubhagya manage to get justice to the little girl? To what extent does the management go to stop Saubhagya? What wins? The power of the power of employers, or the grit of the employee? So this is the blur.
Great. To know further the end
Wonderful.
of the story, please, please buy and read the book of Mr. Gaurav Sharma. It all happened at school. And on behalf of Ahmedabad Book Club
Gaurav,
and
please
Karma
give a Gaurav,
Yes,
please
ma'am.
tell the viewers when it is expected to release.
That means Mr. Harpreet Makkar can tell better.
That's thank you, Koronam, for pointing the question to me. It will take some time. I will at least couple of. I would just say 7 to 10 days. The book is
Okay.
still in print. The book is still in print, so it will take 7 to 10 days for the stock to reach me, and
I,
then
I will like to add here means the trailer for the book is ready, has been made by my son. It is almost ready, and whenever I will get a green signal from my publisher, we will release it.
Great.
we'll
We'll
show.
wait
So
for
7 to 10 days is a fair time. 7 to 10 days is a fair time.
No, means we are waiting means between the release of the book and between the release of the cover, somewhere between these two occasions, we will release the trailer.
We are planning. We are planning
Wonderful.
to release the same, I guess, 2 or 3 days in advance for the release of date of the book. So we'll do that.
Wonderful.
So again, thank you all of you, Koral ma'am, Harpreet sir, and Gaurav sir, for being there today on the platform of Ahmedabad Book Club and Karma Foundation.
I would
Uh,
uh, I would like to thank Koral and Mr. Harpreet Makkar, and please convey my gratitude to Mr. Tuhin Sinha. And thanks to
Certainly, Gaurav.
Anandita Madam, means unfortunately she could not continue here. And thank you, Kosha, and thank you, Ahmedabad Book Club, for organizing this event. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Stay
Kosha, for
safe.
putting this together. And Harpreet, it
Thank
was
you.
nice to see you.
Same here, ma'am. Same here. It was nice talking to you, and thank you
It
so much.
was nice.
Thank you.
All of you, stay safe, stay inside the house till a happy monsoon. And thank you once again. Namaste.
Namaste.